So then I go up to him, and then he just goes, "Get away from me! I will punch you! I will treat you like a girl!" Don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. So I went, "I'll be your girl, Greg."
I'm Goldbridge and welcome back to Driving with Goldbridge. We've got a cracking guest for you today. Norwich's second biggest export behind Alan Partridge. You've guessed it, it's JAACKMAATE. Let's get behind the wheel. It is him, the real JAACKMAATE. How you doing?
The real JAACKMAATE. Where's the fake one?
Don't know, couldn't get it. We were cheaper, but he was off today.
I'm doing well, mate. How are you?
I'm looking forward to it. Are you looking forward to it?
Very much so.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's go.
Can I drive?
No.
Okay.
Get in the back.
I'm not getting in the back.
Right, hello and welcome to Driving with Goldbridge with JAACKMAATE. How are you doing, mate?
Good, mate. Good. Are you a good driver?
Yeah, well, we'll find out. I am a good driver, but less about me, more about you.
Okay.
You are well known.
Yep.
Which is why I've picked you.
Too well known.
I'm going straight into it, Jack. Do you like yourself? Do you like yourself? Because you don't like a lot of other people.
I do now. It was old me that didn't.
Yeah.
No, I like myself more now than I did 4 or 5 years ago. People like Casper Lee and Josh Peters used to say to me, "You're too negative, you slag everyone off, you must not like yourself." And I used to go, "Shut up, you mugs, you don't know what you're talking about." In reflection, they were probably right. Yeah. I was probably unhappy with my life, so I was calling others out, you know, how you sort of deflect on others. But now I do like myself. Yeah, there's elements that I don't, but on a whole, yeah, I guess.
I know Robbie and Stevie, and I really like them, and I did think about bringing them down, but I don't know about you, but I think there's nothing more humiliating. I was eating Thogden and Thogdad. I don't know which one to choose. Yeah. Because if I put Thogdad there, or I put Stevie in the back and you in the front, is there anything more demeaning than being in the back, back of a car?
You just got beeped! Goldbridge got beeped! 2 minutes after me asking if he's a good driver, he got beeped.
I'm a risk taker. I'm unorthodox. The roundabout was there, I went for it.
Yeah, no, I respect that in a human. Yeah, no, to be honest, mate, I would have loved to see Stevie in the back. I think he's very aware that he's my side piece. Do you know what I mean? He's my Lawrence McKenna.
I've been in the back of cars before, like, you know, when you go up to watch United and everything like that, and
yeah.
You end up in the back. Yeah. You are a second-class citizen, even though you might all be mates from school and everything like that. If you're in the back, you feel like the third wheel. I
disagree, Mark. I think it's a very underrated position in the car, because if you're driving, yeah, if you're driving, you've got all that to worry about. You've got the responsibility on your shoulders. You can sort of get beeped out on roundabouts and that. If you're in the passenger seat, you have to stay awake. You can't just go to sleep, because then you've got that. In the back, you do what you want. Pretzels. I don't know why I said pretzels. Sweets, fizzy drink. Do you know what I mean? Do what you want back there. Who knows what's going back there?
I think the only time you're relevant in the back of a car is when you're in the back of a limo and you can't see what you're doing in the front. You've got a lovely girl in the back, champagne, and she's sucking on a packet of Werthers or something else.
I've never done that.
You've got to try it. Neither have I. I'm married.
Was it a good hen do?
Anyway, there you go, Stevie or Robbie. You both could have been in the back. I just thought it was a bit demeaning.
Oh, I wouldn't put Robbie in the back. I've got too much respect for him.
Is he a bit like Dirty Dancing? Don't put baby in the corner.
Yeah. Don't put Robbie in the back. Put Stevie in the back. Put him in the boot.
Seamlessly into that there. Films. You sent me a film recommendation the other week, which was absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Dirty Dancing. My wife said to me, "Why do you keep going on Twitter and saying you like Heat and The Town and everything, but when Dirty Dancing comes on, you always watch it, even though you've seen it 100 times? Is it because it's not cool?" And I went, "Yeah, that's why I don't put that." But what's your favourite film?
My favourite film? I like anything really by Tarantino. So I like your Django's, your Inglourious Bastards, your Reservoir Dogs is up there. But my favourite film, it came out 2 years ago, Joker. So by Todd Phillips.
We spoke about that. Yeah. Joker.
Do you like it?
I liked it as a one-hit wonder, as we spoke about on the Happy Hour podcast. Check that out. I'm not going to talk about it any more than that.
Okay.
But I've told you to watch Heat. That's one of my favourite films, and you haven't watched it.
Oh yeah, I told you I was going to watch it last night as well.
Yeah,
I completely forgot. I've been watching Clarkson's Farm on Amazon Prime. You seen that?
Bada bing, bada boom. I'm Robert De Niro. I'm telling you, a guy told me, never attach yourself to anything or anyone you cannot walk out on in 30 seconds if you feel the heat coming round the corner.
Good.
He was a stand-up guy who told me that. He was not Michael McIntyre. He was a stand-up guy. In my world, that is a guy you can take home to your mother. That's a shit Robert De Niro, isn't it?
But was that quote?
I get goosebumps saying that is from Heat.
So Michael McIntyre gets a quote gets a reference in Heat.
It's Pacino and De Niro.
Yeah.
About halfway through the film.
Yeah.
And basically they have this head-to-head.
Yeah.
And they're on opposite sides. One's law, one's a criminal.
Yeah.
And he says to him, Pacino says to De Niro, we're sat here having a chat. I like you, but I tell you now, if it's me or you, you are going down. And De Niro goes, there's a flip side to that story. Yeah, we're having a chat. Yeah, I like you. But if it's me or you, you're going down too. And then he talks about the heat, which I think, that's ruthless, isn't it? Because if you feel the heat's coming round the corner, do not attach yourself in life. Right, heat's coming round the corner right now.
Yeah.
Jack, you've got 30 seconds to flee.
Right.
You're not going to do it, are you?
No.
What about Stevie?
It depends how hot the heat is. I'm ginger, so I burn under a crescent moon, mate. So
it's a cracking film. You've got to watch.
I will watch it. I will watch it because I've recommended you one. You took it on board. You gave me the respect of watching my recommendation. I need to return that, so I will. As soon as I'm finished Clarkson's Farm.
Lovely area this is. Anyway, I've just done an impression.
Yeah.
Can you do any impressions?
I like to think I can, and I record myself in my voice recorder, on the phone. I don't know, I call it a voice recorder, and then I'll play it back, and they'll be dreadful. I'll give you a few. So my best one is probably Stewie Griffin. How you doing, fat man? Ooh, that kind of stuff, and then you can do.
I love impressions.
I used to. Right, talking.
I think the crapper the better as well.
Clarkson, yeah. You won't know this because you haven't seen it, but there's this viral clip of him going around on TikTok. By the way, he'll go, in the world. I'll try and do that a little bit.
That's quite good.
Is that? Yeah.
Tonight.
What's that? Tonight. On
Love Island.
Oh.
I can't do it, crap.
Love Island. Is that
Tonight. Right? I sound like I'm constipated.
My
wife's shouting up. When you're going out. Tonight.
Love Island. No, I can't do it. I used to be able to do Bear Grylls, but I'm not sure. When you're in the wild, one thing you need is to always drink your own urine. Is that all right?
Not too bad.
Thank you.
Here's one for you.
Yeah.
The Happy Hour podcast is on the verge of extinction. They've overused the sidemen in their titles for too long, and now they can't procreate. 2 more podcasts and it'll all be over.
When I do Attenborough, I always say the same sentence and I go, deep in the South African rainforest. Is that right?
Not bad. I think that's not bad. The thing about impressions is, you can't. When you listen to your voice back, you don't sound how you think.
No.
So even when you think your impressions are good, they might be terrible.
I'll tell you something now. You obviously can't do this because you're driving, but for future reference, if you put your hand here, but just in front of your ear and there, and you press and you talk, you hear how you sound to other people.
Were you a successful guy when you were growing up with the ladies or the men?
No. So you're right with ladies. And no, I wasn't. So I was very, very frigid for a long time. Do you know what? I think I probably still am now, really. But obviously, I've got a fiance, so I don't need to sort of go out and about now. But I used to be so embarrassed.
Anytime. No, he doesn't.
Well,
that's a compliment.
Yeah.
I've always had that. Like when I used to work in the police and that, and my other half used to come along.
Yeah.
People would go, "You're punching." I'll go, "I'll punch you in a minute." What a bloody... She's not that good looking. And I am,
Yeah,
no, she is. She's a beautiful girl. But
I'm fully punching, and I'd rather that. I'd rather people say to me,
Yeah.
Jack, you're punching, than your miss is a bit rank, isn't she?
I'm too vain though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm fully aware that I'm a troll-looking bastard. Can you swear on her?
Yeah, I want her to be better looking than me, but I also want me to be, you know.
What you're saying is you both you want to be you want to live in a world in which you're a 10 and she's a 10.
I'm happy being an 8. I just don't want to be told I'm
Very
punching
modest.
and I'm a 6.
Well, that woman back there, just before we started filming, she just said you look like DiCaprio.
Yes, but she obviously has an eye issue.
She's 85.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I
You were a shy guy at school then?
Yeah, mate. I used to have an underbite.
Snap. Yeah?
Well, did it get it corrected?
No. No. I do have a eye overbite. My bottom jaw.
Yeah, pokes out. I had mine corrected on the NHS when I was like 19, 20, I think, and then I just got confidence from that. Like I used to make YouTube videos before, and because I look like that, I look like a Pez dispenser, like the bottom bit's out like that. And I used to like literally hide my mouth when I was talking on YouTube, which you can't. That's not ideal for YouTube, really, is it? And then because of that sort of lack of confidence that came with the underbite, I was absolutely terrible with girls. I was 18 when I lost my virginity. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you?
16.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like I was a late bloomer. Like I was watching films like Superbad and that, and they were always talking about having sex. I was like,
who's your favourite famous sort of mate?
Famous mate? I don't have really many famous mates. Just YouTubers. Do they count?
I think they do. I mean, I was talking about this with Pieface the other week. It's like, I love this space. I think there's people in it I don't like.
Yeah.
I think they are, I don't think they represent it in the right way. But when we did that Clash of Creators thing,
yeah,
I met Morgs, and I didn't really. I thought, well, I saw my daughters watch this content, and I was like, oh, what an idiot! He, bloody bathes in Coca-Cola and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he came up and went, I really like your content, and I said, I never do this sort of thing, but can I have a picture because my daughters will love it.
Yeah.
And he was just a nice guy. And
He is a nice guy.
One thing I do in life is I'll take the piss out of people, but when I meet people, I will give them a chance.
Yeah.
In this industry, I know people, right, who been nice to me, then they meet somebody that doesn't like me, and then they
that
cut
changes
you off.
their opinion.
And I'm like, if you said to me now, we're going to go around the corner and we're going to meet such and such YouTuber, he's a right cunt, I'd go, I respect Jack's opinion, but I ain't going to go with it until I've spoken to him, because that's what being a mate is. Yeah,
like for example, obviously I interviewed Jesse Lingard a few weeks ago. He did a tattoo on my leg, and I think he's a lovely guy, but on their day he just he didn't seem up for it or whatever. And then I said to my mate who's interviewed him, I was like, he's a bit off, wasn't he? And he was like, no, not with me, he was lovely. So I was like, oh, maybe it's just that day, people can be in different moods, like, and stuff like that. But no, my famous mate, it'd be a YouTuber or something like that. Probably you, mate. You're my most famous mate. Most famous Nottingham fan.
I think, to be honest, then look, we'll probably fall out at some point because I fall out with everybody. But there's a selection of people that I really like, and I'm not going to name the people I really like, but you're probably in 3 or 4 in this industry that I generally like.
I appreciate that, mate.
You gave me some advice on people. I'm not going to name who.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And then within 3 months, it happened, and I was like, yeah. And I think honesty in this space is really important.
It's hard to come by. It's rare.
But men, hold on. Tell me something, girl.
Are you happy in this modern world?
Or do you need more?
Is there something else you're searching for?
I'm falling.
What's the next bit?
And in the good times I feel myself longing for change.
Oh, go on. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never reach the ground. Oh,
no, we're not mad. I said to JAACKMAATE, I want to know what your favourite guilty pleasure song is. And you said that.
Yeah.
And it literally, not just because it's a song, it was music to my ears.
Class, innit?
I love that song and I like that film. And even before I'd watched the film, I loved the song, but the film backs it up.
Yeah.
That mental health struggle with fame.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to give you a spoiler about it, but the song tells the story of somebody that, like, you know, I'm at the deep end, watch as I dive in, I'll never, you know, this world can swallow you up. And I know mental health is, you know, something, I'll probably speak to everybody about it in this space because
it's important to speak about.
It's become such an open book.
Yeah, it should be.
So important.
Yeah.
This is something to you that you have down days, do you? And how do you deal with that?
Oh, mate, yeah, 100%. Like, I genuinely used to think, and people can interpret this how they want. I genuinely used to think if I was famous, I'd always be happy.
Yeah.
And I'm like on the cusp of fame, so like I wouldn't say I'm. It's a
You're
hard.
famous. You are famous.
It's a weird one because it makes. I'm like the perfect level of fame as well. So like I'll go around, people are respectful, they're lovely, and well, the majority of people are. But it's not suffocating in terms of I can't go out for a meal, like Ed Sheeran type of fame. It's like a lovely balance, and now it's actually starting to. I never ever had anxiety in my life, and when I first met Fiona, I've spoken openly about this before. I thought it was a load of bollocks, and that's really insensitive, and I know, and a bit immature of me to think so. She would get panic attacks, and I would be like, what's this? Like we're just walking through Covent Garden or something. Like what's going on? I've started to have them recently now, and it's purely because of the getting recognised. So when I go to a pub now, especially in Norwich, mainly in Norwich, so many tables are looking at me. Like and it's all right if they come over and they say, oh, hello, mate, and we'll have a lovely chat, but it's when they don't come over, because I'm thinking, are they going to come and knock me out? Are they going to come and spit on me? Like, I don't understand. Like,
you know, when we were in that pub, I did the podcast with Jack, and we went to a pub.
Yeah.
There was this really nice waiter who came over, he had a picture with us. I'm coming back on the train that night, I didn't tell you this. Somebody tweets, tagging me in, I'm in a pub with Goldbridge, what do I do next? Smack him in the face or do this? And I was like,
what?
We were having a really nice night. It was something like, I don't know if it's smacking his face, but it was like that. It was going that sort of way. It certainly wasn't a nice person. And I'm like, we were having a nice time. The waiter was nice.
Yeah.
Good company, having a drink.
Yeah.
And there was somebody in that pub who recognised me, didn't want to come over to me, and obviously was in the CUNT brigade who don't like me.
Yeah.
And it made me think on the way home, you know, that could have gone ways that I never even knew that mood was there.
Yeah, and this is the thing, we put on a bit of a character online. Like it's a heightened version of ourselves. So some of the things, like all the opinions I have are my opinions, but sometimes I'll pretend they make me more angry than they do for the sake of comedy and entertainment. So if somebody in the street is hating me for that, it's like, you don't know the real me. You don't know the true me. Like, it is weird. It is weird. I always go to a place in Norwich called the Waterfront. That's the nightclub that I like to go to. It's like more of a music venue, really. And I used to go there every single weekend. And obviously, due to COVID, it's been closed. It's recently opened, and I've not rushed to go back because there's going to be a new generation of 18, 19-year-olds that haven't seen me out before and might have different opinions on me.
Beard up.
Yeah, the ones before, they'd already seen me.
I don't mean beards. Beer.
Yeah, beard.
They're not Brian Blessed fans.
Brian Blessed! You do Brian Blessed? Fuckhead!
No.
That was Joe Pasquale. It's the other end.
I've got a song. No, I can't. I'd love to do Brian Blessed. His voice.
Yeah.
My comedy, probably like you. My comedy of course. Look, when did The Office come out?
2001.
Yeah. So I was late teens, early 20s when that came out.
Right. Okay.
So Only Fools and Horses. Of course, I'm like that because it influenced me.
Yeah.
Yesterday, my best mate messaged me about a relationship he's been in and it's going through troubles, and it happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And he messaged me and he was being dead serious, and I went, that's bad news. On a positive, Kieran Wilson's just followed me on Twitter. And I thought he'd cheering up because he likes that sort of comedy.
Mate, it's so weird that you said that. I went to Wetherspoons with Alfie Indra last night, and his girlfriend's recently left him, and I went, I had to make up a name. I went, how is Sarah? She left you yet? Oh, she has left you. I forgot about that. Like that's the humour that we were brought up on.
I don't think he got it, but I think it did make him laugh.
Yeah.
Because he was like, who's Kieran Wilson? I said, he's that snooker player because I love snooker. He said, why are you telling me that? I said, because I'm trying to be funny. Well, I know you're in a bad place, but I'm doing like David Brent when everyone gets the sack and he goes on a positive, I've been promoted.
Yeah. Well, I have a bit of a meme on the podcast that I always get rid of co-hosts because I sort of, we had Alex and my mate Jordan on. They're not on there anymore, but I've always said, if for any reason I ever get rid of Stevie, I'm going to go around the room and go, you're not going to lose your job. You're not going to lose your job to Stevie.
I love people, And there's a lot of people sort of around our industry who love The Office.
Yeah.
And it's probably the equivalent of, I don't know, collecting stickers when you were younger or something like that.
You bond.
Who can do the most Office sort of references? And I mean, they only made, what, 13 episodes?
Yeah. It was, two seasons of 6 and then a Christmas special, wasn't it? Yeah. Love it. A very underrated moment of The Office, I think, is when he goes to do that charity night and he's dressed up as, he's got that shirt on. I can't remember what it is, but he goes, but
the t-shirt one.
No. He's got like the big shirt, and then Bubbles from Big Brother's on stage.
Yeah,
and they boo him
that's
off.
the Christmas special.
Yeah. Who am I? Who are you?
Yeah, who are you? Yeah, it's really so good. But you know, so people think you're an act, but it's not.
No.
Comedy's driven by, comedy for me, like you, has always been an escape, and I've always had a pretty good. I've always been able to make people laugh in a weird way. Yeah. Like I was having this laugh with Robbie, and he was like, "Not Robbie Lyle. You can't have a laugh with him." Robbie Knox.
Yeah.
And he said, "You're like me. A lot of people say you're unintentionally funny," and that's offensive.
He's trying. We're trying it.
I'm not pushing it, but I am trying to be funny.
Yeah.
There is a joke. I know I'm being dry and sarcastic. Mm-hmm. It's not unintentionally funny. Is like falling down the stairs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Breaking your leg.
Being a bit of a dunce, isn't it? But no.
Jack, we're in the diner, continuing the conversation. Mm-hmm. Hypocrites. That's what some people say about you.
Right, okay, just straight in there.
Yeah.
Before that though, Mark, why is there a bottle of Wash and Go on the table?
Well, I don't know why there is, but actually it's a good topic point, because being an ambassador for Wash and Go, they are often asking me what you're doing today. And I said, well, today I am interviewing JAACKMAATE.
Right.
So they've sent me some pictures saying, look, we're a hair product person, brand.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Do you know what?
Kurt, mate.
Exactly.
It's very good.
The top one's all right. The second one looks a bit mental. I don't have the hairline for it, really. Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ. You didn't tell me you were going to be doing this. Look at the vest.
You've had a lot of different haircuts.
A lot of different haircuts. Always the same yellow, though.
I like the Kurt Cobain one.
Yeah.
Did you purposely put your face that way to try and make yourself look like him?
I did, and obviously the monochrome in that. And yeah, I haven't got the hairline for it. I've got like a Mickey Mouse hairline. So from the side it looked all right, but from the front it was like just
You're proud of your hair?
No. Would you be proud of this?
Well, I think it works.
Do you?
Yeah. You change it a lot.
Do I?
I've not changed my. People call me Lego head. Because you could just stick it on. It's the same hair. Not because I'm like Tim from The Office, but because they literally... Somebody came up... I met somebody once who was on the United Stand. The first time we met, he went, "Oh, it is real." I was like, "What do you mean?"
You can't fake that.
No, but
no one's faking that, are they?
It's because I don't change it. It's the same comb over with the...
You look like the default sim before they've changed it up and given it a Mohican.
I'm very... You know when you're playing like FIFA and stuff like that? It's very easy for me to recreate myself because they've always got my haircut. They've always got my haircut. Short back and sides with a bit of shave. Light stuff.
So these are your sponsors, yeah?
Yeah.
So you know Jeremy Lynch when he did the Wembley Cup?
Yeah.
And he just kept drinking that drink. Yeah. Can I do that throughout this? Just subtly, just...
Rub it into your head.
The best brand in the world. I've used these for 29 years and I'm only 28.
So, we've got the brand out of the way. Mm-hmm. Hypocrites!
Yeah.
That's where I was.
No, I know.
On a serious note, I mean, look, I've seen you do stuff recently and people have mainly liked what you've done, which is always a bonus in this area. But then you always are going to get the 10% that don't like it and say, how can you criticise this when you've done it yourself in the past?
Yeah.
What would you say to those people who say, well, you're being critical of people who are being critical of people and you've done it the same yourself? Do you think that's an issue?
I'd say they've got valid points, but I don't give a shit. And that's really the issue. Like, think about it's YouTube. Like, we say a lot of shit all the time about stuff. And yeah, I've been hypocritical in the past because I've completely changed. I've grown up with YouTube. So I've made my mistakes on screen.
Yeah.
And now, like we were talking about in the car, like, I'm 28. When I'm 38, I might look back at the content I'm making now today and be like, oh, that's cringy, that's a bit embarrassing. But if you don't look back on your old content and cringe and think it's wrong, then you've not really grown. It shows growth. So yeah, I am a hypocrite. I don't really care that much. I don't take it that serious. Again, like I said, go to London, talk shit on a podcast for a few hours. Go back to Norwich with my normal mates, go to the pub, and that's my life. Like, I just have this weird bit on the side that I kind of enjoy.
Do you not think that, I mean, like, I purposely brought that in because it's something that could be levelled at me as well. And in a way I find it quite frustrating. I think, you know, you notice the social space and the shifts and the turns, and it's almost like the trolls out there know how to press the buttons, and the latest thing is that you can't change your mind. Like... And they will literally drag a tweet up from 2 years ago in the football space, and you buy a player and say they're good. 2 years ago, you said they had a shit game. You know, it's almost like that, isn't it? It's like, you're not really a hypocrite. You're a person, because who doesn't change their mind?
Everyone
We're not
does.
robots.
Yeah, the internet is so permanent now. You put something on the internet, even if you delete that tweet or you delete that video, because your opinion's changed, there'll be screenshots of it, and people will forever think you still have that same opinion. And also, we're in this culture now where we're like, be better, like... But back in the day, like, I used to use the word gay as a not a derogatory term. I used to use the word gay as like, oh, I don't want to play basketball, that's gay. Like, it was nothing homophobic, but I didn't know any better. Whereas now, as a 28-year-old, obviously I do know better, but people will still pick tweets and go, you must be homophobic. Well, hang on, because we're encouraging people to be better, but when they do show the growth, and they do show a change, you're still holding them accountable for something they did 8 years ago. So cancel culture is a load of bollocks, but I've spoken about this until I'm blue in the face. It's up to the person if they're cancelled or not. I can't be cancelled because I've never done anything illegal. I've only had shit opinions and tweeted dodgy stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, who I'm not anymore. So cancel culture is a load of waffle. We need to cancel culture. Seriously, we do. I can't say it, but you know what I mean.
No, I think you're right. I think it's heading down that road. It gets harder and harder, doesn't it? And you know, sometimes I think people do need to be called out when they make mistakes, and you know, we've seen that in recent weeks, of course.
But kicking Jack Maynard out of the jungle for something he tweeted 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, everyone acts like, you know, I'm not going to name names, but people act like their farts don't smell, and yet 20 years ago you were running a newspaper doing this, and then 20 years later you're saying you can't do this. Well, if we're going to accept that, then 2 years ago I said this. You're going to hold it against me now.
Yeah,
you know?
Let's judge people for what they're doing now, today, rather than what they may have said years ago. Unless it was illegal, then clearly that something needs to be done. And also, people, it's a bunch of anonymous idiots on Twitter that when they get together, they think they have this power to cancel, so they just do it over and over again. But there will become a time when you've cancelled so many people that you don't have the same weight or the same power that you used to. We'll all just be cancelled, which will mean none of us are cancelled.
Exactly. I mean, on that, sort of a little bit different.
Yeah.
Are you somebody who has regrets? And if you do have regrets, or you don't have regrets, what's your biggest regret across your life, career?
My biggest... I'm not somebody who has massive regrets. I've always kind of like, if I get a feeling that something's not right, I will act on it rather than sleep on it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, I felt undervalued in a job I had 5-6 years ago, so I left on the spot, and it was good money for somebody who's just entering their 20s, and that never... And I've always sort of progressed through that. But I guess it is a similar topic. Like, my regrets are probably some of the stuff I said online years ago, both in tweets and to people. Like, now I'll call people out for what I consider to be the right reasons. Like Jeremy Lynch, for example, knobhead.
Is he a knobhead?
Big knobhead, yeah. Whereas
I don't know him. I mean, I saw him on YouTube the other day. I always try to give, as we said in the car. I don't know whether it would be on the thing. This is a very good example. You've told me he's a knobhead. I can go,
you can have your own
he's
opinion.
a knobhead.
Yeah.
You might be right, he's a knobhead, but I won't call him a knobhead until I've spoken to him, met him. But it will be in my head, but I will make my own mind up.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some of his content. He's built a football ground in his back garden. He's got a Marvel cinema, and he's obviously doing quite well for himself.
Oh, mate, he smashed it, yeah. He smashed it. It's just, I won't go into it at all, but it's just... everyone knows the mistakes he's made and the things he's said and the way he portrays himself at public events and stuff like that. But I've never ever, like what you said, don't judge somebody based on someone else's opinion, but there does come a point where I've met so many people in the space and they all have the same opinion. Can everybody be wrong? Yeah, I guess, but it's very, very rare. And but what I was saying is, I've called people out years ago just because they had an opinion I didn't like. It's not enough to call someone out. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I can't really remember what the question is.
Biggest regret?
Yeah, probably stuff I've said online in the past. Do you find this now as well? Like, if I'll tweet something, right? Usually when I'm hungover and I'm laid on my sofa purely to wind football Twitter up, I'll tweet something and then the next day I'll go, that's a bit of a dickhead thing to say. So I'll delete it and everyone's like, he's deleted his tweet. What a botler. And I was like, you hated the tweet anyway, but now you're all precious over it. You cannot win with Magic Martial or Lucrative Lanzini.
Yeah.
Lucrative Lanzini.
Firmino's foreskin.
That's my one, yeah. Cheers for the plug.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a funny old world. It really is. And a bit. Like, who do you admire in this space? Like, you know, who's your heroes? Because you. I mean, for me, I love Liam Gallagher, Roy Keane, and Ricky Gervais. And you know Ricky. You've done that.
Yeah. Gervais is so obviously my inspiration that I don't even put him in that bracket anymore. They say never meet your heroes. Well, I've met him loads of times, and he's just a gent. Just an absolute diamond. So unfazed by his celebrity stature. Some real turn up wear joggers, trainers. He came in the podcast studio once, and I went, do you want to wear the headphones? And he went, what do they do? I went, well, just so you can hear yourself better. He went, I can hear myself anyway. I went, all right, yep, you do what you want. And then I went on his once, and he just went, chair back like that. Just went like that. Just spoke for an hour, and I thought, you're the man. Like, you just know you're the man. But his trainers were all sort of dirty and that, and that's the thing. Someone with billions. Well, he hasn't got billions, but someone
not far off.
Yeah, someone who's mega rich, they don't flaunt it. Whereas someone who comes into a little bit of money, like Love Island cast, they'll be in the club with a bottle of Ciroc or whatever it is, acting like that. So yeah, he's obviously a huge inspiration. And anyone in the space who's honest and real, I think
Well, you meet them all though, don't you? Because it's like people ask me about the Sidemen a lot. Because I've reacted to a couple of their videos. I don't put them in the title as much as you do.
Yeah, well, you're missing the trick, mate.
I know I'm going to do it. But
hey, I'll tell you what, KSI's a prick. There you go. You can put that in your title.
But you know all those lads. I don't. We were at that event and I didn't get a chance to speak to Harry.
Yeah.
But they're a lot younger than me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go around chasing them because that's not what I do.
Never chase them. Right?
No, never do.
Don't chase younger.
That'd just be wrong. Circa.
Yeah.
Seems a nice lad.
Lovely lad.
I've raided him, interacted with him a little bit. What are they, in the space? Are they...
Well, I've had him on the podcast.
All of them?
Yeah, well, all bar Harry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I did their roast video where I had to go up on stage and insult them. I have different opinions on all of them because they're all individuals, but as a whole, for how famous they are and how much money they have, they're just lovely lads, really. Like, I like some of them more than others.
Yeah.
KSI, though, I think I've spoken about this before, but he is so genuinely lovely and down to earth. I remember I went to Miami for Jake Paul, Anderson Gibb.
Oh, you've told me this story privately as well. So it's a good one to tell publicly.
Yeah. And we're up on this balcony, and that's where the YouTubers are. And there's every YouTuber you can imagine, even American YouTubers and UK YouTubers. And JJ's there, and he's like the goat of the scene. So everyone there wants to talk to him. You can see they're hovering as well. They're almost waiting, and I find that a little bit cringy. I'd love chatting to him, but I'm not gonna hover about like a fly around shit. So me and Alfie Inja, we just sat on the sofa, and he's just come over. Just sat down, chat 15 minutes, like catch up, blah blah blah. And then Fiona comes out, and he stands up, and he's like, "Hi, I'm JJ," and he introduces himself, and it's like, she's like, "I know you are, you're fucking KSI, mate." But it's just that little bit of humility and that little bit of normality, because he could just be walking around now, like, I've just done a song with Lil Wayne, mate, like I'm the Johnny Big Bollocks, but he doesn't. So he's very, very nice. Whereas Vicstar's a prick. No, he's. They're all lovely. They're all
at such a young age as well. Yeah, it's an interesting space. I mean, just talking about that, you mentioned something to me before about Logan Paul's dad. Because It was you. I don't get involved in any of that, but when that was going on, I actually saw some of your content. Were you trying to get into?
I was trying to kiss Logan Paul's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should explain it. It was at that fight, and Logan Paul's dad has had a bit of controversy for allegedly kissing younger people.
All right.
Jake Paul, it's in a video. Jake Paul blindfolds a fan or some girl that he was seeing, and then he's like, "You've got to guess whether it's me or my mate kissing you." But then he brings his dad out, and his dad's like that. It's awful. So I thought, right, okay, let's play him at his own game. Let's see if he'll kiss me. So we went to the fight. I printed out all these flyers. I photoshopped myself and him hugging. Put Greg DM me at Jack, and then I got to the fight, big red carpet, and I'm just everyone's like mini minters walking around in a suit and that, but I'm just there with these flyers giving them to these kids. He's seen Greg Paul. He's seen Greg Paul. Completely like not even thinking that this is his son's biggest night of his life, and he's there to watch his son box. And then Pam comes up. That's Logan and Jake's mum. She's like, "You've got pictures of Greg?" And they're not together anymore. But I went, yeah, I was just wondering if he'd kiss me. No, I was wondering if he'd meet me. She goes, "He'll meet you, yeah, he'll find this really funny." Meet Eddie Hearn, like getting him to hold it up. It was a big thing. And then she came up to me about an hour later because there was whispers and rumours that he was at this event. We didn't know if he was going to be there. And she went, Greg's here, Greg's turned up. She went, "Do not go up to him. He is not taking this well." And then I see him in the corner, and the whole YouTube scene's up on that balcony that I was telling you about, and they all know I'm trying to do this. So I thought, I can't bottle it. I can't. They've all said this is my moment. So then I go up to him, and then he just goes, "Get away from me. I will punch you. I will punch you in the face." And I just had to go. He was like, "I will treat you like a girl." Don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. So I went, "I'll be your girl, Greg." And then, he just threatened to knock me out. But it was funny because Alfie Indra was a cameraman, and Fiona was had a camera as well, and they were both filming. He went, "Turn the cameras off," and Alfie went like that, but Fiona just kept filming. So Alfie's a bit of a pussy.
I'll tell you what, it wouldn't have been a bad situation to take a punch.
I would have
be
loved
good
it.
for your career.
That'd have been the thumbnail. I'd love to take a punch off Greg Paul. I'd have rather snogged him, but imagine that if I snogged him. I'd have broken the internet.
I forgot that was you though, because I don't watch that sort of thing. And then, when you mentioned it to me the other day, I thought I'll bring it into the show, and I was like, I actually don't watch that sort of nonsense.
Yeah.
And I did watch that, and I was like, oh yeah, that was Jack.
And then I finished it with a whole music video. I paid this graffiti artist to come and spray a mural of me and him on the wall, and we did this whole music video. So one of my better bits of content now, I think. Never did reply to him a DM, but I'm still...
What's the next 5 years for you then? It's been a bit of an interesting last 5 years. You've got your podcast.
Yeah, hopefully.
The world is changing, but it's a fragile world that we operate in. What's the future? Not even the 5 years. What do you think?
I think YouTube's maybe at its best years. TikTok. It's all about TikTok now. So, am I going to get on TikTok? Probably not. I'll just continue doing what I'm doing. I'll just milk this podcast dry until people stop caring about Sidemen titles, and then I'm fucked, Mark. What about you?
I disagree. I think I think TikTok's interesting, but what pisses me off, and I shouldn't say it because everyone's going to do it now, is that I see more and more people taking my content and doing what I don't do with it.
What's the copyright laws behind that?
But it's like, I've only just gone on TikTok, but I've actually been very popular on TikTok for 18 months.
Yeah.
And earned nothing from it, whether it's, not even revenue, but just growth on it.
Yeah.
And it's, there's a lot of people who are a lot wiser to it than us, even though we're providing content.
I know. We're boomers now. That's
Yeah.
what we are. We are boomers. I used to think, I used to teach people about tech, and now I'm like, how do you stitch a duet on TikTok? I don't even know what that sentence means. So there we are. Maybe we're fading into irrelevancy. Who knows?
Everyone's getting older though. Sidemen are getting older. Everyone's getting older.
They're still banging views though.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that as they get older, they make us more relevant because we're older.
That's true.
Although I'm a lot older.
I thought this the other day. We are like in the first batch of quote unquote famous YouTubers, right? We're in the first batch. You had like your Casper Lees and your all them lot, but really this is the first sort of generation. So when we're 80, if YouTube's still going and there's famous YouTubers, then we're like the Frank Sinatra. Do you know what I mean? We are the famous...
You might be.
We are...
I'll be like the Harold Bishop. Or the Ken Barlow.
Harold Bishop?
Or the Doc Cotton.
Is that not that doctor that killed people?
No. You're thinking of Shipman.
You're the Harold Shipman of YouTube.
Harold Bishop was on Neighbours, an old fella. He was waving on the cliffs and disappeared.
Right.
Ken Barlow, old Coronation Street. I'm trying to think of what the kids would watch today, but basically an old fella. But no, I'm in football. Football's my thing, and I'm sort of wandering into this, whereas you're this.
Yeah. No, I do enjoy it.
You could wander into football.
I wanna. Yeah, and after my penalty at Clash of Creators, maybe there's room for that.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see. But look, it's been a pleasure having you on, mate.
No.
Really enjoyed it. We could chat for ages.
Yeah,
and,
we could.
You know, I certainly think that if there's any brands out there, there's opportunities.
I want to do a road trip with you.
I want to do a road trip.
Yeah, let's do it.
Italy, Route 66, Hull. You're
Norwich.
popular in Hull.
No, I'm not.
I'm trying to think where people don't like me. Manchester. Funny enough.
Let's do a road trip from
Everyone
Norwich to Manchester.
always says, because we did a meet up in London and it was really popular. Everyone says, why don't you do it in Manchester? I'm like, they don't like me.
No, they spit at you in the street. Yeah, and it's justified.
Fantastic.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I was going to pick up the wash
No,
and
it's
go.
your show. It's not. Thanks for having me. This is my show. This is a novelty. Thanks for coming on.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, mate.
Where can people find you?
Don't worry about it. Just watch this series.
Happy Hour Podcast. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like, subscribe. See you soon.
Drink, wash and go. Use, wash and go.